Getting set for this matchup. Let's take a look at the goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blood Coffee at home. 24th start of the year for Devon Doobnick. His last regulation loss was in Nashville on March 8th. He is 3-2-1 lifetime against the Predators. At the other end, well, it's all or nothing lately for 30-year-old Pecorine. Pulled 4 of his last 8 starts, but he leads the league in shutouts. He's got 5. They started the road trip in Dallas. He got a shutout. Then he got the hook in Calgary on Friday. 2 goals, 2 shots. Take a seat on the bench. They lost that game 6-3. The Oilers, of course, losing 3-2 in overtime on Friday to Detroit. And we are underway. Ryan Jones back in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. Nugent Hopkins centers that puck right out in front. Nugent Hopkins, Everly, and Jones. We saw this lineup for the Oilers losing in Colorado. Ryan Jones was not 100%.
No, he was feeling under the weather. It has been for the last couple of days, but feels better. Good first shift for him to get in, get a couple bodies hit. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a little bit of a quick chance on the shorthand side.
Jones going after Erad. Erad comes away with the puck. The Edmonton Oilers want to make a change. Sean Horkoff steps over the boards with Taylor Hall and Alex Hemsky. Hall, we talked about him. He was flying in that game, scored the first goal against Detroit on Friday. Right down the middle. David Legron throws a sharp angle shot towards Doobnick, and he will hang on. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Legron throws a sharp angle shot towards Doobnick, and he right down the middle. Here's David Legron throws a sharp angle shot towards Doobnick, and he will hang on. Let's take a look at the keys to the game.
Hopkins, he scores! Hopkins opens the scoring in Game 4.
Brought to you by the Duke. The champions are effective winning the National Predators. Stop the bleeding right now. In the last 2 games played, Green has been pulled early in the game, giving up 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost eventually to Detroit in the overtime. Want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost eventually to Detroit in the overtime. They want to learn how to cope with Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the night versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost. The change, Sean Horkoff. David Legron throws a sharp angle shot towards for Super Duty. It's built for top. Stop the bleeding right now. The last 2 games played, Green has been pulled early in the game, giving up 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost eventually to Detroit in the overtime. They want to learn how to close out games. That means a 60-minute effort. That's what they're looking for tonight. I guess that is a byproduct of youth, but if you want to make the playoffs, you got to limit the excuses. And as you mentioned, get a lead and then close it out. Taylor Hall, the puck right now at center, being watched by Shea Weber. So Weber and Hall will probably see a lot of each other in this game. Roman Yosef is with Shea Weber. Puck is fired in. Sam Gagner waiting for it there. Can't get it by Brandon yet. Gagner gets it back again. He'll give it to Magnus Bjarne. Bjarne will send that puck in deep. Dale Yakupov on that line with Bjarne and
the defenseman to step up, take the body, separate man from puck. Gagner on the back check is able to slip in there and pick it up.
Jeff Petrie working his way in against Ryan Ellis. They'll give it to Magnus Bjarne behind the net. Gagner waiting for it there. And Sam Gagner plays it back to the point. Petrie back there. Fires a wrist shot that goes wide. Matt Ellis bounces it off the boards and he'll get it to Brandon Yip. Yip gets it to center. You know, the rest of the stuff that's game. But really, nobody felt worse than that guy with the puck right now. On twice against the Red Wings.
Yeah, no question. Right now, Jeff Petrie, obviously, I think it's 1-0 Oilers is going to put a puck eventually in the roll. Net. Just Oilers lead the series 2 games to 1. In front of an all-time point box, and he did just that. But overall, a real good game for him. He played the most of any Oiler in that game. Very good defensively. Just that one little mishap and shake it off and right back out there tonight and pretend like it didn't happen.
Moving in.
Clune with a shot, and that is stopped by Doobnick. Played over 25 minutes in that game, did Jeff Petrie. He's averaging almost 22 minutes a game for Ralph Kruger. Shot in by Bartley, Victor Bartley. Sixth game in the National Hockey League for him. Erat with the puck goes in towards the net through traffic. Stopped by Doobnick, into the corner it goes. Blum trying to keep it in, can't do it. Everly in pursuit of Scott Hanna. And he fires it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Erat. Out there with Fisher and Kostitsin. Kostitsin, a healthy scratch in Calgary, back in the lineup tonight. Number 74, and then the net comes off the moorings. As we go downstairs, talk to Gene.
Louis and Kevin, time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any of those players scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Jessica Noy of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. And obviously for the Nashville Predators, losing the last two, trying to get things going early. It's Fisher that drives himself to the front of the net. A little help from Jones there into Doobnick. As he kind of goes through, knocks the net off the moorings, like you were saying, Kevin. And for Fisher, 2 goals his last 2 games played, wants to keep that streak alive, and one of the guys that has to step up with the absence of guys like Hornquist, Wilson, out of the lineup, offensive guys that are hurt right now for Nashville.
And when we were talking to him this morning, Mike Fisher told us that it was the odd man rushes that were really filling the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Ball this morning, Mike Fisher told us that it was the odd man rushes that were really filling the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. You mentioned the guys that are not in the lineup. And one of them was Colin Wilson, who leads the team in assist and points.
Yeah, big loss there. He had 4 points the last time these two teams met up. And for Barry Trotz, the only coach in Nashville Predators history, I call them Trotzy's troopers. You know, it's interchangeable parts a lot of the times in the 4 lines. You can just chuck that next guy in there. Very good job at managing that and putting the players in the right positions to succeed. And he can roll 4 lines.
And they're not afraid to use the waiver wire to get bodies in. Brett Boychuk, Bobby Butler, Brandon Yip, Rich Clune, all guys came in on waivers. Weber behind the net, gave it away. Horcock is at the hall. The shot that went off leg one and all the way back down into Oilers territory, where it's picked up by Ladislav Schmid. These teams met on March 8th in Nashville. They'll go back to Music City to wrap up the series on March 25th, and we'll be there. Ladislav Schmid. These teams met on March 8th in Nashville. They'll go back to Music City to wrap up the series on March 25th, and we'll be there. Van Gagne works his way in. He's got his way in the middle. Pass comes all the way back through the legs of Biardi. To Petrie. Predators with 3 shots, and there's the first shot for the Oilers. They played almost 5 minutes of this first period. Just plays it to the middle, and it broke the stick of Nick Small. You're playing with Biardi. Brandon Yip. Halishchuk with it now. Halishchuk behind the net. Crashes his way out in front and tries to wrap around. It was stopped by Doobnick.
Good play there by Halishchuk, and the guy that, you know, is trying to stay in the lineup, has been in and out down the minors a little bit this year for them. And a guy that had a good season last year in his first full year in the National Hockey League, playing 73 games, had 15 goals. And right there, just drives it to the front of the net, right for the blue paint. Good save by Doobnick to stand his ground in that post.
He was down in the American Hockey League in a conditioning stint the last time these teams met. Mike Brown getting a rise out of the crowd as he normally does, throwing his weight around. Remember, he fought Rich Clune, number 16 for Nashville when these teams hooked up. He has the puck right now. A wrist shot off the stick of Jonathan Blum. Blum takes him into the corner. The puck's still alive. Brown tries to break free. It comes to Clune. And Clune plays it to an open wing. And Nick Schultz is there at the end of the shift. He'll just dump that puck right back in. 4 shots for the Predators. They don't take a lot of shots. In fact, they are last in the league when it comes to the average number of shots per game. It's under 25.
I'm a little surprised Edmonton hasn't had a couple shots on net yet in this game, considering that Rene's been pulled the last 2 games played. So that's something they obviously want to change here and get some shots to this goaltender, see how he's doing in this game. But Mike Brown's had a lot of energy to this lineup ever since being picked up from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And here, a good physical play down low on Smith, finishes his check. And a little earlier before that, here's a drive by Halishchuk as he just wraps it around. Good little evasive move behind the net, goes right out to the blue paint. Those greasy goals you score in tight. They don't ask you how.
How many? 5-9-2 are the Nashville Predators on the road, and that's a bit of a turnaround from last year. They were the second best road team in the NHL. A year ago, they won 22 away from the Bridgestone Arena. A different story this year.
The Oilers are 1-0.
And away by the net, it gets checked, and there is Nugent Hopkins to get the puck to Everly. Everly plays it back up top. Justin Schultz goes cross ice. In the corner, Whitney down low. Nugent Hopkins trying to get it away from Kevin Klein. It comes from the near side. Justin Schultz pinching in. Good play behind the net. Nugent Hopkins picks it up. Got Jones at the point. His shot didn't make it through. In fact, that hit Justin Schultz. Vasco Stikson works his way across. His pass for Erat didn't work. And Nugent Hopkins starts away. Whitney catches up to it. He's got Everly with him. Plays it to Everly in the corner. Klein takes him there. The Oilers making a change. And it comes out to Gabriel Bourque. Gabriel Bourque, 9 goals on the season. He leads the Nashville Predators in goals. And there's a quick shot. And a reason why. He almost got 10, but 4 goals in the playoffs. Smith behind the net again. Wrap around the 10. The puck is sitting there, and it's covered up by Doobnick. And Schmid doesn't like the fact that Smith is poking away at it.
It's game 4 of the Stanley
Schultz hit by that shot. And then at
the Western Conference Final.
Watch this save by
was
Devon
here.
Doobnick. They keep it 0-0.
At Wrexham.
Brian Whitney, an Edmonton Oiler of Irish descent. You can see that when he was a young lad, 1920. The Irish
Official. He'll fire it into the corner. 12:47 to go here in the first period. The Oilers officially still looking for their first shot on net. And Louis, you pointed it out. This is a guy that's been shaky.
The halfway mark.
And the net for the Nashville Predators trying to get some pucks on.
Yeah, absolutely, and something that Nashville's done a pretty good job of just boxing things out, but for Edmonton have to have a little bit better understanding of what they're going up against. One of the better goaltenders in the National Hockey League. 43 wins last year. Where the little struggling as of late, the last couple of games been pulled very quickly, so test them out early. Get some pucks from different angles, get some bodies driving that blue paint. He's a big goaltender, a lot like Doobnick. So you have to have that busy presence in front of the net.
The Oilers outshot the Red Wings 32-28 that game on Friday. And lost for just the second time in overtime. They're 5-1-2 when they outshoot their opponent. Brandon Yip with a big check by Victory.
In game 3.
Yip throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Magnus Bjarki picks it up on the near side. Mark Fistrick back in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. Missed 8 with an elbow problem. Cut his elbow in that game against Dallas, playing his old team for the first time. But he's out there now with Ryan Whitney. 11:25 to go in the period. He's flipped into the opposite corner, flipped into Fistrick's corner. He gets there first ahead of Clune, but Clune plays it out in front for Legwand, and there's a shot by Blum, but he missed it. Got it back again, another shot. And it's stopped by Devon Doobnick as this fourth line puts some pressure on Bobby Butler. Back to the point it goes. Butler can't get through, but Ellis tries. His shot is blocked. Clune and Whitney come together. Legwand in there to help out as well. And Fistrick relieves the pressure, sends that puck down the ice, but a little bit too much on it. And it's going to be icing.
Been a real good chance out in the high slot by Jonathan Bloom, who has missed the last 5 games played. Real good chance.
The ice, but a little bit too much on it. And it's going to be icing.
Been a real good chance out in the high slot by Jonathan Bloom, who has missed the last 5 games played with injuries. So for him to get back in there, a good forecheck once again by the Nashville Predators again. It's Clune that gets in there, disturbs it right there. That shot through doesn't go through, but the second one gets deflected wide. You know, some real good work down low. And you talk about the fourth line. Clune scored a goal the last time these two teams met. It was one of those types of goals. Go to that blue paint, bang at home in that 6-0 win back on March 8th. And following that up in this game here against Edmonton, just getting pucks into the offensive zone and generating those chances to the net.
Not often a tough guy gets a penalty shot, too. But game in Dallas, he scored on a penalty shot. And a 4-0 win to start this road trip, the 5-game road trip that will wind up in Columbus on Tuesday. They're 1-2 so far. And 0 for Western Canada. Got hammered by both Vancouver and then Calgary on Friday. Gave up 13 goals in those 2 losses. Ryan Whitney. Given a bump there by Sergei Kostitsyn. Fights him off and gets the puck to Everly. Nugent-Hopkins starts the rush. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins dumps it in. He'll chase it himself against Roman Josi. Josi misses the check, and here's Everly. Everly gets surrounded, gets it back to Schmid. Schmid plays it to the boards, and waiting for it there, Nugent-Hopkins. Everly circles around the net, gets away from Shane Weber, and Weber gives him a thump. Separates him from the puck, but here's Everly on the steal. Jordan Everly moving in. Jordan Everly ran out of room. And Pekka Rinne makes the save.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins
trying to get his first goal in his last 11 games.
The series lead.
Welcome back. Joined by Derek Laxdal, the victorious head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, who finished second overall, ranked fourth in the CHL rankings. And you're getting set for the playoffs, which begin this coming weekend. First off, tell us about your season. 51 wins, a new record for the franchise.
Oh, Jim, we had a real consistent season right from the get-go. Ended up with 51 wins. We went in the Eastern Conference. You know what? Had a lot of great development from our players. Curtis Lazar turned into a great 17-year-old, ranked in the top 10 of the NHL draft coming up. But you know what? From start to finish, it was a real solid regular season.
What do you think of your first opponent, the Kootenay Ice, which the series begins Friday and then continues Sunday?
They're a very good young hockey club. They really had a great second half, probably one of the best teams down the stretch. So it's going to be a great test for us. And we open up Friday at 7 p.m. and play the second game Sunday at 4. But it's going to be a great series, and we beat them 4 straight last year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year.
Is it easy to make sure everyone's not looking ahead to the MasterCard Memorial Cup, thinking we were there last year, we think we should be there this year?
It really is. You know what? Kootenay played us tough all year this year, and I know our guys are ready to play Kootenay on Friday night.
Derek, thank you, and best of luck on the road to the MasterCard Memorial Cup. All the way in Saskatoon, not that long road.
All right, thanks, Gene.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, guys. Good night to the Edmonton Oil Kings. And right now, they put pressure.
Western Conference Final.
Nashville Predators in their hands. And Taylor Hall taking that opportunity to throw a hit. And he caught Gabriel Bork. Justin Schultz, who blocked that shot right back at it. Long shot, handled by Rinne. The first period, Ladislav Schmid will beat the shots right now with just over 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. Ladislav Schmid will lead the rush. He'll chip it in.
2-1.
Bartley gets it by Gagne to Yep, who gets it out to center. Jeff Petrie back into his own zone. Turning his nail, Yakupov. Yakupov gets that puck right back again from Magnus Bjarvi, gives it to Schmid, and Schmid dumps it in, but there was a white wall at that blue line for the Nashville Predators.
And they want you to try and pass through that wall. Very important for them. They don't do that. You saw the puck gets in deep. You have to regroup, get the cycle going, get pucks in there, establish that forecheck. They really have to play against the Predators. They want to clog up that neutral zone. Make it tough to pass it through, and for some reason, you think you can, but you can't.
Leonard Petrell moving in. Petrell goes to the front of the net, and he goes overtime. Sticks flying from Scott Hannon. And it's picked up by Clune. Clune giving a bump there by Petrell right in front of the Oilers bench. Smith carries on. He gets stopped by Fisker. And that will chase Ryan Ellis back into his own zone. Ryan Ellis, a former teammate of Taylor Hall. Both guys wearing number 4. The Oilers Spitfires.
Two-time World Cup champions, both of them, and always need to go up against guys you played with in junior and obviously have that history with and want to be the better guy on each and every night you play against them. And those two guys were obviously a lot of the offensive power that the Windsor Spitfires had in their back-to-back championships.
Ryan Ellis had 314 points in his OHL career. Mark Nierat, the play for the Red Deer Rebels, takes the shot, steered aside by Devon Doobnick. Weber keeps it in, gets it to Erat. Josi fires a blast that is blocked by Nugent-Hopkins. Quick outlet to Everly. Everly's with Jones. Drop pass, Nugent-Hopkins walks in. Couldn't quite get the puck over to Jones. Erat. Everly's got it now. Everly back to the point. Petrie steps into a slap shot, and that gets deflected by Mike Fisher way up into the netting, Gino. Jones, Erat. Everly's got it now. Everly back to the point. Petrie steps into a slap shot, and that gets deflected by Mike Fisher.
Here's Ryan Jones. Jones! He scores! The former Nashville Predator gets the lead. It's 2-1 in Game 4.
Presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Upfit TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000. Don't take extra enough on an Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit telus.com/hockey and answer this question. What is the capacity of the Oilers home rink, which of course is Rexall Place? 15,000, 16,000, 18,000, 18,000, 19,315. For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
David Legwand moving in, but there is an offside call right at the Oilers blue line.
And three good shifts in a row. Edmonton with the Hall line there goes first with Horcock and Hemsky. The fourth line follows up with a good shift. And then this line goes out. Good cycle down low once again. And just a cannon by Petrie from the blue line. And good job by Mike Fisher. So willing to pay the price. Gets himself in that shooting lane and gets a big piece of that puck to deflect it up over top of the glass.
Mike Fisher came into this game third among forwards in the NHL and blocked shot. Stan Doobnick stops that shot. And Ford looking for the rebound. And they're hanging up.
Always going to be a heavy pressure from Nashville with Mike Fisher. In very strong offensive style, so you always have that collapsed defense in your own zone, protect the house mentality. For Mike Fisher, one of the best two-way centermen out there. Always willing to dive in front of a 100-mile-an-hour marshal. Call it crazy. It's a that.
Isn't that the name of the country song is right? Very Underwood, of course. Hemsky with a shot to this. A blocker save by Pecorino. Taylor Hall. Alex Hemsky. And Horcock with Smith doing a little pushing and shoving. And Craig Smith is complaining. But he's going to the box. He knocked down Horcock. He's complaining that Horcock had his stick. So when we come back, the Edmonton Oilers will get the first power play of this game. Craig Smith in the penalty box for roughing. And it's the Oilers' first power play of the season against the Nashville Predators. They didn't get a chance.
They've got two-game stretch against Nashville. Detroit, but they didn't draw a penalty in 2 games. So good to see them get one early on here against Nashville.
Actually, it's the side of the net. Ian Kostitsa killing this penalty. Special teams for Nashville have been a problem this year for Barry Trotz. They are 25th on the power play and penalty kill on the road. The Oilers, the 7th best power play in the league, goes to work right now. And that was gloved ahead, and that's why we got the whistle. With 53 seconds left to go in the penalty to Craig Smith.
You can't let the Nashville Predators lull you kind of into that perimeter play for Edmonton. The power play's been successful and they attack that blue paint, get pucks into that zone, have a very active stick getting pucks to the net, looking for that chaos in front. When you look at the Nashville Predators, 2-2-1 their last 5, they've scored 6 power play goals and only allowed 1 against. So pretty impressive numbers considering the record. So starting to turn that department around as well.
Hemsky fires on puck in, Pecorino stops it. Rossi sends it around the boards. And then it's sent out further by Martin Ely. He and Gabriel Bork are exposed, and Brandon Gibb on board the boards. Alex Hemsky's got the head of steam as he crosses the blue line. Hemsky still out. Goes in by the net for a shot. Garrett will send it around the boards. Nugent Hopkins waiting for it there. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Alex Hemsky to the middle, just in short spot. Nugent Hopkins takes the look. Gets it to the right. Nugent Hopkins back on top. And he was tipped away on a good stop by Nick Spawn.
Go back to stick real good play there by Spawn. Didn't look like he really had that much of a reach, but the last second just extends it. Perfect timing to deflect that pass down the ice.
And for maybe one last run as Patrell hurries, but it went off the skate of Legwand, and that allows Smith to come out of the box. The Oilers do not get a shot on that power play. Matt Halishchuk to Legwand. Legwand shot, and that one's blocked by Fisker. Scott Hanna goes it behind the net, but Mike Brown is there to intercept it. And he'll get that puck out slowly, and Patrell will pick it up. He's got Smith with him. Patrell stops up, fires it towards the net, big rebound in front, then Legwand sends it down the ice. Fiskerick's going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be icing against Nashville.
Real nice drive there, wide by the...
And that's going to be icing against Nashville. Going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be icing against Nashville.
Real nice drive there, wide by Patrell, and the fourth line's played very well in this game so so far in this first period for Edmonton. And just a little pickup in the neutral zone with speed. He's a big body. Great little slam on the brakes here for a delay. Knows he has traffic going to that. Ryan Smith does a good job driving the blue lane. And this is a heavy rebound here by Pecorine. He just kind of blockers it out. How on grip? Sure. Put it back about 110 miles an hour.
Jones, Eberle, and Nugent Hopkins up there now against that Cannon and Klein defensive pair. See if they can take advantage of that. Eberle with the puck now. Nugent Hopkins gets a shot right on. Stick save by Pecorine. Eberle with it again. Eberle against Klein. Spins to get away from him. He's got Jones in the high slot. He's got Nugent Hopkins in the corner. Alischuk back defensively. And Alischuk tries to get away. Petrie keeps it in, and then Alischuk just loves that out to center. 2:44 to go in the first period. 8-6 now. The shot's 2-0 Oilers. Vladislav Schmid with a nice move to get around Legwand. Swing to the conference final. Still has it. Stops up against Blum. Blum knocks him down, but the Oilers able to keep it in. Schmid down low. Now he's going to retreat back and call for a change. Ryan Whitney and Jeff Petrie out there now. Irak across the blue line, dropped the puck for Kostitsin. Kostitsin wasn't ready for it. Irak gets the puck back again, fires a wrist shot deflected by Kostitsin. And Doobnick had to be sharp. Mail Yakubov on the far side to Magnus Piarvi. Piarvi inside the blue line, cross ice. Gagne takes a look, beats it out in front. Mail Yakubov had a great chance. Swing and a miss for Nail Yakubov, looking for his 7th goal of the season.
This is a great play by Piarvi to find Gagne late. Another terrific pass across the Yak. For 6 good. Anderson Road, we're getting a puck in deep, establishing that forecheck and getting chances.
Oilers. Pecorine trying to slow things down. The Western Conference final makes the save. Nail Yakubov coming close to 1 lead. Oilers hockey here on the net.
Well, can't use your seats for a game? Donate them to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program presented by Stantec. Visit the community page at edmontonoilers.com for more information. Well, the Nashville Predators had a full off day on Saturday as they were given some time away from the rink on the part of Barry Trotz, and the team gathered at a local watering hole and watched UFC 158 as George St. Pierre took on Nick Diaz and won. And earlier in the day, that was the night, during the day, they booked one of the rooms at their hotel and had a fantasy baseball draft. You can see to the far right there, goaltender Chris Mason is whispering some advice to one of his teammates, who's also a teammate of his as part of the fantasy baseball draft. It was Chris Mason who was kind of the original founder of it. He was the one that pitched the idea, and it's caught on ever since.
He and Greg Zondo in head-to-head competition for the Blue Jays year.
Guest appearance on Duck Dynasty. And he actually had a laugh about that. He says, I'm never going to catch Zen. He's got too much growth on me already, but I love the color though.
See, and look at his is green.
Yep.
Zannon's is just sort of there.
Keeps it in check.
I like the way you said that Zannon's beard is beating block shot with 6. Whatever works for him. Minute and a half to go in this period. The Oilers starting to come to life in this game. To 1 for the Oilers. And Louis, you mentioned the single goal, getting shots on net. But back comes Bork to 1-1. Puts it back as he hits the post. Roman Yossi wings it off the iron. David Legwand couldn't keep it in. And the Predators will have to regroup. And Yossi comes close to just his 4th goal of the season. Smith down to Smalling with a shot stopped by Devon Doobnick. Loose in front is picked up there by Hornbach. Less than a minute to go in this first period. Taylor Hall just inside the blue line. He gets surrounded. Weber plays it off the boards. Good job there by Petrie to keep that puck in for Hall. Hall and Weber. Weber sends it around the boards. Vladislav Schmid pitching against Brandon Yip. Yip sends it down the ice, and he had enough English on that one. Backspin to keep it from an icing call. Bouncing puck, and Pecorine is not going to take any chances with Nugent Hopkins there. He thought about playing it, and he gets the whistle, but Roman Yossi comes so close.
Yeah, a little bit of a breakdown here by Edmonton. Obviously, a little pinch here. A good play to kind of get this puck in through. So you have Schultz, it's back. It looks like a 3-on-1 development. Clear 3-on-1. And for Bork, I can't believe he's been taking that right to the net, but he wanted to kind of open up the shooting lane, give it back, looks for a pass, back for a one-time opportunity. And Yossi, who could really fire the pill, rips it off the bar. So a little help from the iron there for Devon Doobnick on a 3-on-1. The development nothing. And Yoshi could really fire the ball, wins it off the bar. So a little help from the iron there for Devon Doobnick on a 3-on-1. The development nothing really even looked like it.
Race for the puck now. Erat, he's got Fisher with him in front. But a good play by Whitney prevented that pass from getting there. 20 seconds left to go in the period. A little pushback here from the Nashville Predators. Kostitsin, Erat, and Fisher up there now. Erat plays it back to the point. That one deflected wide, but Fisher stays with it. Klein down low. Kostitsin behind the net, centers it out in front, right at the horn. The shot was taken by Bartley, but it stays 0-0. So Rob Falls on this St. Patrick's Day. The goalies are pretty stingy, just like you at the bar when it comes to buying around.
That's because I leave my wallet in the hotel room for...
I'm just kidding. Over to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Ryan Jones back to the lineup, played 5:07. Mark Fistrick back in the lineup, played just over 6 minutes. Ryan Jones will start the second period along with the top line of Nugent Hopkins and Everly. And Louis, that's just the way it is now. The National Hockey League gets pairs, and then somebody added to that top line. That's Nugent Hopkins and Everly, and then that has changed as Kostitsin brings it in center and pass. And he was trying to find somebody to pick that up, and it turned out to be Bartley. Victor Bartley in deep. He's a defenseman. Now he'll retreat to the blue line along with Kevin Klein. Klein picks it up at center. He'll give it to Bartley. Victor Bartley made his NHL debut in that game against the Oilers on March 8th. Moving in now is Bork. Bork centering pass for Smith. Smith couldn't get the shot away. Petrie prevented that. Craig Smith lays it out in front. There's Petrie again to deflect it away. This time away from Mike Fisher. But that's Smith is behind the net again along with Bork. Here's Yossi down low. Gets it to Bork. Alashevsky defensively gets the puck. He'll turn and quickly get it to Petrie. Petrie right up the middle for Hall. Hall moving in, trying to go one-on-one against Weber. That's a great matchup. We'll look for that one all night long.
They bumped into each other a couple times already. Pecorino has not faced a whole lot of shots, only 6 through the first 20 minutes of play, none in the second so far. A couple high-quality chances for Edmonton in that first, but he was up to the task. And he's a goaltender that hasn't played well as of late. As you mentioned earlier, Kevin pulled the last 2 games that he's played. He allowed 6 goals on 16 shots in those 2 starts. But he's dialed in here. And for Edmonton, your team that comes out, as you heard Mark Spector talk about, you have to get more pucks to this guy. You have to test him early on, see if he's having one of those nights yet again. Because he's a goalie that in the 3 previous games shut out 2 teams, including Edmonton. So you don't want him to have one of those.
Yeah, he leads the league in shutouts. He's got 5. His last was against the Oilers on March 8th. He got plenty of run support in that game. A 6-0 victory. There's Halischuk from the corner. Halischuk circles the net. Rich Kloon joins him. Takes him up there from Burkhoff. Halischuk fights it off. The captain who turned it over to Smaller. Halischuk shot. That one goes wide. Yakupov will pick it up there. He's got some room. Nail Yakupov flips it in. Magnus Piarvi's going to go after it. Piarvi against Jonathan Blum. Butler in there to help out. Robbie Butler lays it up to Kloon. Kloon with Legwand. Kloon dumps it in. Legwand will go after it. Justin Schultz blocked his shot in that first period.
None the worse for wear, though. Unfortunately, from his own player.
Yeah.
Jones shot. A good job by Schultz to pinch that time. And Jones in the high slot gets a shot, but he looks okay.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, we've talked about him as the Big Easy. We've talked about him as Dubatron, but one thing he did was get that pulled in Nashville, and that's the way you have to be.
No question. That was a little bit of fatigue for Devon Doobnick, starting his 10th in a row here in this game tonight versus Nashville. So you know he has a very long memory. Won't forget that, but wants to be better tonight. Faced 10 shots for the first period, 20 minutes, and a couple of real high-quality ones at that. A 3-on-1. He stopped them all.
Bartley steps into a shot, and that one rises over top of the net. Klein tries from the other side, and that one hit Fisher. Kostitsin, Erat, and Fisher, the forward line. Weber steps out on the blue line as the Nashville Predators able to make a change to the blue line while the puck is still in the Oilers' end. Yossi and Weber out there now. Bringing it back is Gagne. Bounces that one, and he sees that one go wide. Weber makes a quick up for Smith. Smith to Bork. Bork hit the post in the first period. Now he'll fire a shot that doesn't get through. Schmid blocks it. And he takes Bork into the boards, and Mike Brown will get it. Brown to Ryan Smith. Smith, Petrell, and Brown, the fourth line up front now. Rene sends it around the boards. Brown there to stop it. Gets it to Petrell, gets it to Smith. Smith behind the net, now to the corner. David Legwine will pick it up, and Legwine bounces it off the boards and gets it out to center. Jeff Petrie retreats. He's got Gabriel Bork watching. Petrie to Brown. Brown against Nick Spaulding. Swept in there by Petrell. Ryan Ellis under pressure from Ryan Smith. Ellis plays around the far side, and waiting for it there is Matt Halleschuk to Martin Erat. Erat. Drop pass for Spaulding, but he dropped it behind him, and that allowed Mark Fistrick to come up with the puck. Fistrick gets double teamed, but does get the puck out to Jones, and he gets stopped by Blood. Halleschuk bounces it back in. Not exactly classic end-to-end hockey right now.
No, that's exactly the way Nashville likes to play. They love to clog things up, make it a little bit of a battle inside of the battle. And the only way you can get around that is to make them get back into defensive zone play defense. Edmonton hasn't been able to do it enough in this game so far. Good defense by Nashville. Very quick outs in the defensive zone. And credit them. They've driven wide. They've got pucks to the net. They've cycled well. They've had some good chances.
And nobody's had a shot on goal in the first 5 minutes of this period. John Horcock with it now. He gets double teamed. And the puck comes right out in front. It's picked up there by Schultz. He'll give it to Whitney. Ryan Whitney. And offside at the line. And Gene, he's got his mic open. That means he wants to talk.
Yeah, time to get back to work here and tell you about Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game. It's Your Plate Yogurt, Minigo, or Tubes.
Well, Devon Doobnick up again with a high riser here by Bartley. As you watch this, good traffic going through the seam. And watch this puck. The last second for Doobnick. He wants to reach up and try and get this one, but he decides, you know, better off just to get the head out of the way of that blast from Bartley, the blue one.
Hardly without an NHL point so far.
Yeah, it's been a real nice story here for Nashville. Played his first game back, the first game between these two teams on March 8th. And a guy that got injured a couple of years ago, down the American Hockey, went over to Sweden, played over there for a year, got a contract with Nashville to play down in Milwaukee, and getting his first chance in the National Hockey League. Now played with Jordan Eberle in Regina for a season and a half, and has that offensive upside. We've seen him jump in a couple of times. You saw that shot there. He bunch it from back there. So a real nice story and a good find for that.
An update on his situation. They are already without Paul Gostet, Oscar Hornquist, and Colin Wilson.
And for the Nashville Predators tonight, dressing 7 Ds in this game, and only 11-4, so down to 10 now with Yip in the dressing room.
Erad picks it up. Looking for Yossi. Roman Yossi cutting for the net. Yossi still has it. The backhand stopped by Doobnick. And the rebound cleared away. As Yossi drives the net. Roman Yossi is the guy that hit the post in the first period. They'll go in there against Angus Layardi. Jakubov centering pass, and it was picked off by Weber. Weber, his pass for Kostitsin didn't work, and Kostitsin headed to the bench. 13:50 to go now in the period. Predators without a shot. The Oilers have one in this period. Brown with the puck now on the near side. Ryan Smith trying to get it against Blum, and Petrell was a strike right offside. Tellis Oilers hockey, and it's right here on Sports.
We'd like to invite Oiler fans to check out episode 3 of Oil Change, premiering on Sportsnet Sunday, March 24th at 11 p.m. on Sportsnet West. The new episode follows the team on the longest road trip in franchise history. 9 games in 8 cities in 17 days. Here's a quick look at a clip from the episode.
We use the airplane times, even if we're not on a back-to-back, to really
analyze what's just happened in the game while it's fresh. It's going to be tight tomorrow. There won't be a lot of scoring chances in that one. It'll be a tight one. We'll be ready.
The assistant coaches are working feverishly. Louis DeBrusk, I don't know if you picked it up. He's snoring at that point. Back of the plane.
You're the only man I've ever known that can actually sleep without even leaning back. Just sitting straight up. But yeah, a lot of work goes on right after a game. When it's fresh in your mind, you get the video uploaded, and the coaches will bring players sometimes up to the front of the plane trying to break some things down so it's fresh in their mind to work on. And those guys are always going at it, trying to find that little advantage and things that went wrong, trying to correct things.
Brandon Yip is back on the bench for the Nashville Predators. Louis mentioned 7 defensemen dressed, so they need all the forwards they can get. He is back on the bench for the Nashville Predators. On the bench for the Nashville Predators. Nashville Predators will continue this road trip. They'll go into Columbus on Tuesday and then be at home to Calgary. The Oilers continue their homestand. They'll take on San Jose Wednesday, St. Louis Saturday, and then it's in the Music City for a game against Nashville. Back-to-backs with Nashville and St. Louis next week. We'll have both those games for you. Smith trying to center it. Craig Smith. Everly. Nifty little pass there to Schmid. Now he'll get it to Jones. Jones going one-on-one against Blum. Ryan Ellis gives him a little help. The puck's free, and now Legwand and Everly both go down. Bodies everywhere. Ellis also hit the deck. Ellis runs in. The Nugent Hopkins knocks him down. And indeed, a penalty coming up to the Nashville Predators. And it's going to be cross-checking to Ryan Ellis, and the Oilers will get their second power play of this game.
And, for Nugent Hopkins, he loves to do that quick little spinorama, and he's so effective at it, and he has such good edges. And for Ellis right here, it's not the fact that he bumps into Hopkins from behind. It's where his stick is. That cross-check right in the middle of the back kind of pushes him face first into the boards. And he's going to go to the box 2 minutes for that. So the second power play, Edmonton coming up here.
They had 3 power plays against the Red Wings on Friday, 0 for 3. They have scored 13 goals on the power play at home. They are the 4th at home in the NHL. Gagne sends it to Everly. Everly back to Whitney. He and Yakupov at the point. Whitney moves to the middle. Yakupov one-time last-hand save. Yakupov gets that puck right back again. Let's go and watching him. Sam Gagne goes to the far side. Everly there. Magnus Piarpi's in front of the net as it comes to Whitney. Whitney takes a look at wrist shot through trouble. Mercy got the block on it. Gagne gives it to Everly. Everly back to a point for Whitney. Yakupov ready to go. Whitney gives it to Everly instead. Everly's down low for Gagne. Gagne takes a look. Gagne moves to the middle. Now he'll find Everly. Everly. Whitney fires the shot. Deflected wide. Behind the net for Yakupov. Yakupov pushes it. Gets it to Sam Gagne. Back to Ryan Whitney. Whitney. Another wrist shot through traffic. The bang away. There's Magnus Piarpi. A power play goal. Whitney. Yakupov pushes it. Gets it to Sam Gagne. Back to Ryan Whitney. Everly. Everly. Whitney fires the shot. Deflected wide. Behind the net for Yakupov. Yakupov pushes it. Gets it to Sam Gagne. Back to Ryan Whitney. Whitney. Another wrist shot through traffic. The bang away. There's Magnus Piarpi. A power play goal. Everly. Everly. Whitney fires the shot. Deflected wide. Behind the net for Yakupov. Yakupov pushes it. Gets it to Sam Gagne. Back to Ryan Whitney. Whitney.
He's got a free club.
Gene.
Kevin, by swiping a free club card, Elizabeth Galt in Fort McMurray has won the Universal Music CD prize pack, courtesy of Safeway, and You'll Play Yogurt, Minico, or Tubes.
So the Oilers strike first and get their first goal against the Nashville Predators this season. Power play now has 25 goals. They came in tied for 4th with the most power play goals in the league.
And my bad there, Kevin. I said it was Gagne that gave it over to Pierre. It was actually Jordan Everly beside the net, so messing up on a Gagne point again.
He doesn't need
I keep taking him away from him.
He's got 26 points on the season. Jordan Everly now has 19 points. And And Magnus Bjarvi continues to produce. This is his second time he's been recalled, remember. Came back on February the 5th, and he is getting the job done lately. 4 points in his last 4 games for number 91.
And one of the guys for Ralph Kruger said has done everything that we've asked him to do. And one of the things they want from Bjarvi is that presence in front of the net, driving to the pipes. And look where he's standing, right in front of the goaltender. He's in the right spot at the right time. He has that position. Pretty hard to take that away from him once he's playing himself there. He has good hands, and he used them there to take it from the forehand to the backhand, tucked into the wide open net. So a real good story for him this year to kind of get himself back on track. Was struggling a little bit earlier on to find his identity, but this is the way you have to play in North America. For Bjarvi, he has that speed, has that size, and now it's paying off because he's bought in.
His dad's in town, too, so a little extra boost, absolutely. Next ball. Push that puck out to Halliship. Picked up. Long with speed. He'll play it to the middle. It got by Spall. Yip trying to keep it in. And Ellis is going to be chased back into his own zone. 12-9, the shots on goal in favor of the Predators. But it's the Oilers with a 1-0 lead. They open the scoring against the Red Wings as well. And one of Louis' keys to the game is the ability to close out contests with the lead. There's still a lot of hockey to be played in this one. But the one thing you want to do, Louis, is plant some doubt in the seat of a team that has given up a lot of goals in the last couple of games. Legwand dishes off the Bork. Spinorama move. Petrie going after it. He had to deal with Butler in front. Bork's got it. He'll give it to Butler. Butler, Legwand, and Bork, providing all kinds of problems for the Oilers right now. It is David Legwand, longest-serving member of this Nashville team. Feathers that puck in. It's picked up by Gabriel Bork. Bork down low for Legwand. Checked by Schmid. A chance for Gagne to get that puck out. He just wants to relieve the pressure and send it down the ice. And back to get it is Weber, so those guys are not going to be able to get out. And so important, Louis, like giving up a run, you know, in the next inning, you want to be able to. Important, Louis, like giving up a run, you know, in the next inning, you want to be able to score, and this is so important when you score a goal, not to give up anything too quickly.
Followed up in the real extended shift in the defensive zone here for this line that's on the ice for Edmonton. Good job by the line by Nashville. You know, especially Bork has been flying here. Leads the team with 9 goals. Is all over it there in the offensive zone with Legwand. Good cycle, tying that line down, keep him on the ice. Important face-off here.
I mean, won that draw, gets it around to Yakupov. Partly pinches in. He'll send it around the boards. It gets by Klein. But Klein touched it. That'll allow the Oilers to get a quick change in, and they need to do that. They'll get the top line out there. Schultz and Whitney on the blue line. As Fisher brings it in. Fisher cutting for the net. Mike Fisher's shot, and that one rang off the post. Mike Fisher, the second Nashville Predator, they hit the iron.
Good speed in that transition there by Fisher. Good job by him with speed to attack the line, go inside out, and rings it off the bottom.
Jones' shot is handled by Pecorino. Mike Fisher,
Still
6
2-0
goals on the
Oilers.
season, 2 in his last 2 games, but not
The
here.
Stanley Cup Western Conference Final.
It's time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia, presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text this package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. What is the capacity of the Oilers home rink? Is it A, B, C, or D? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
David Legwand, Sean Horkoff, face off. Legwand wins the draw. They send it around the boards and knocked over the stick of Mark Bistrick. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. A 1-0 lead for Edmonton on the goal by Magnus Bjarvi. Magnus Bjarvi now half a dozen on the season. Horkoff with the puck. Drop pass for Hall. Taylor Hall snaps a shot, and he had to be sure almost through a crowd.
I like that shot by Taylor Hall. Good job by Horkoff to drive right through the middle, acts as a screen for Hall. Just gets it there.
And a penalty coming up, and it's going to be a holding call. Alipinski headed to the box, and the Nashville Predators are going to get their first power play of this game.
Gets a little tied up there in the offensive zone, battling for a puck here. Watch him going against Spalling. It's that stick in between the legs of Spalling right there. And as he pushes him, he falls down. Good chance right before that off the rush for Horcock. It'll drop through the legs, drives through, takes 2 defensemen out. And a real good job by Hall to find that little seam, get that puck through there. Not an easy save for Rena, who comes up with it. And the Predators have won their first power play here on that next penalty.
And Louis, I think you mentioned the fact that the special teams for Nashville starting to improve on the power play.
Who comes up with it. And the Predators have won their first power play here on that next penalty.
And Louis, I think you mentioned the fact that the special teams for Nashville starting to improve on the power play. 6 power play goals in their last 5 games. For Nashville, starting to improve on the power play. 6 power play goals in their last 5 games. They were 1 for 2 in the game against Calgary. That game on Friday. Their first chance here, David Legwand. Bork lays it back to the point. You know, Shea Weber's going to be up there. He's got the puck right now. Bork gives it back to Yossi. Yossi to Bork. Legwand. And his pass for Yossi gets away from it. They had 4 opportunities in that game in Nashville. March 8th scored on 2 of them in that 6-0 victory over Edmonton. Gabriel Bork. David Legwand. Trying to feed it through, but a good play there by Schmid and Brown. Back to Weber. Steps into a slap shot. That one goes wide. Bork behind the net. Bork. Back to Weber. Weber steps into another shot, and that one was blocked by Mark Fistrick. Fistrick sends it down the ice.
He's got to stand a little bit outside. Every time Shea Weber shoots the puck, it's amazing. He just crushes it. Even when he misses the net, it's chaos afterwards because you don't know where it's going to bounce to. It still has so much velocity on it once it comes off of whatever it hits.
You saw it there bounce off the back wall, almost right into the slot. And even I talked to Ladislav Schmid the last time about how he blocks shots and what it takes to block one from that guy.
Yeah, and he says, you know, he tries not to see who it is that has the puck. He just wants to make sure he's in the right position. Good block here by Fistrick right up at that elbow area. He's getting back after missing the last 8 with an elbow injury. That can't help it too much right there. I don't know if that's the one that he hurt, but a good job by him to be in that position and stand his ground.
Well, Scott Hannon has left the game. An upper body injury. He will not return. Nashville down to 6 defensemen. 35 seconds on this power play. Kostitsin will give it to Ellis. Get it right back again. Sergei Kostitsin. Erat trying to send it through. An opportunity now for Butler. A couple of tracks at it, and Ryan Smith is there to send that puck down the ice. The Oilers, the 8th best when it comes to killing penalties in the National Hockey League. Kostitsin drops it for Erat. Erat sends it around the board. Horcock. Schultz sends it the length of the ice. Concern on the bench for Jeff Petrie. We'll try and get you more information on that. So, injury is a key factor at this time. And the icing call against the Nashville Predators.
Well, just look at his face. And, you know, when you see a guy wriggling on the bench, you know that he obviously took a shot somewhere. And looking down at the skates, and right now it's got its own pulse. Probably for Jeff Petrie, but paying the price in front once again. And he's a tough kid, you know, there's no question about it. When you're going to go down and block shots like that, you put yourself in a vulnerable position. He's so effective at it, though. A long, lanky guy at 6 foot, almost 4. And he gets that leg out and caught him in an area where there probably wasn't too much padding.
Well, they did a great job. In fact, no shots through on that power play. When you saw examples of the blocks, the Oilers 5th in the league in block shots.
Good puck possession of the Nashville in that power play as well. As you mentioned, they dialed that in 6 power play goals in their last 5 games played. So it's almost like they jab at you, jab at you. Obviously, they have that knockout punch with Weber back there in the blast, but get some guys that can move the puck around very effectively. And a good job by Edmonton to stay composed, stay tight, and block a lot of those attempts that tried to get through.
5.5 minutes to go in this period as Klein and Bjarne high up right at the blue line. The puck squirts free and is picked up by Bartley. Victor Bartley hammers it in. That one hits Schultz, Justin Schultz. Gagne trying to get it out as the Nashville Predators make a change. So everybody getting stung by the puck in this one. Over-skating it was Butler, and the Oilers come right back in. Jordan Eberle, drop pass for Whitney off the skate, Bennett in front. Back there, Rene back in the net. And now Yossi got the stick chopped out of his hand, and that's going to be a penalty. And the Nashville Predators are going to go right back on the power play.
Well, a tough one here, and I think for Nick Schultz, he didn't know whether or not this was going to be a breakaway. Eberle was there, but doesn't want to take the chance, comes down and gets a little aggressive on the stick of Yossi, and they'll head to the box for 2.
Look at Nick Schultz in the penalty box, and the second straight power play for the Nashville Predators. Well, you mentioned it in the break, playing with fire with this Nashville power play. Fisher behind the net. Back up top it comes for Stevenson. Hops over his stick. Ryan Smith in pursuit. Smith and Gagne up front of the penalty kill. Schmid and Petrie. Good to see Jeff Petrie back on the ice as Fisher brings it across the line. Fisher stops up, takes the lift, plays it back to Kostitsin at the point. Kostitsin feeds that through, deflected, and Devon Doobnick makes the save. Butler never got a piece of it. Erat against Petrie. Erat, Butler, Fisher, and Kostitsin, along with the one defenseman, and this guy, the captain, Shea Weber. Weber throws it in behind the net, waiting for it there is Martin Erat. Erat trying to get it back to the point, cut off there by Gagne. And then finished off and sent down the ice smartly. And Ladislav Schmid, look at Pekkarini trying to keep things going. With a minute to go in the power play to Nick Schultz. Penalty to Nick Schultz. And here comes David Legua. Legua to Smith. Craig Smith. He gets stopped by Brown, but it comes back to Yossi at the point. He'll deliver to Smith. Smith takes a look. Traffic in front. Smith still has it. He gave it to Bork and get it right back again. Smith goes cross ice instead. Yossi waiting for it. Weber loads the gun and scores. Shea Weber fires a bullet to tie the game at 1.
Absolute cannon by Weber here, and just an incredible shot by him. Good work again by Nashville. Under some pressure here to maintain possession, get this puck set up. And a real hard cross-seam pass right here by Smith. It gets through. That's where they want it. To the right-hand side, sets up the one-timer for Weber. And he just absolutely crushes it. Top shelf on Devon Doobnick. A little bit of traffic, obviously, in front there. But he picks the corner from back there. That, for sure, over 100 miles an hour, that blast there, and ties this game 1-1.
For Shea Weber, his 5th goal of the season, but just the 2nd on the power play. And now 7 power play goals in the last 6 games for the Nashville Predators. And we're tied at 1. Special teams in the second period coming through. And it's a 1-1 game. Yossi and Smith get the helpers. On the goal by Shea Weber. Spaulding behind the net. Sent down by Halischuk. Halischuk with Yip and Spaulding. Hemsky with it now on the near side. A bouncing puck comes to Spaulding. A play behind the net for Yip. He got knocked down in his attempt to get there. He tripped over the post, or may have gotten a little help from Devon Doobnick. Halischuk hammers it right back in. We think we'll stop it up. 2.5 minutes to go in the game. 15-12. The shots favor the Predators. They're kind of playing into their hands. They're the lowest shooting team in the league when it comes to shots on goal. Petrie fires his shot. That is deflected well. Eberle against Ellis. Eberle wins that ball. And they're going to deal with Jonathan Blum. Schmid back to the point. Jones waiting for the wrist shot. One before it can get through by Mike Fisher. Again, the 3rd highest block total for any forward in the National Hockey League. Takes right on. Devon Doobnick. 2 big saves. Ellis at the point. Trying to keep it in against Eberle. Retreating back is Jonathan Blum, being watched by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ellis. Blum plays along the board. Schmid had his man tied up, and that was Bork. Petrie with a hit on Martin Erat. Opportunity for Yossi now. Snaps a shot. Close save. Devon Doobnick.
Ultimate Hockey Megastore.
Another good save here by Devon Doobnick. Roman Yossi comes in. He can really fire his goal. Ran one off the bar in the first period. And here tries to go high glove. And Doobnick is ready for that one. Some good work along the boards by Nashville to get that puck free and get it over to the open man.
16 saves for Devon Doobnick. so far in this game. As Alex Hemsky starts away with Hall. Taylor Hall gives the puck to Gagne. Gagne moving in, snaps the shot. Big reload in front, opportunity for Hemsky. Stopped by Pecorine. Hall with it down, wrap around the tip. That is denied. Back to the point it comes. Fistrick with it. Gagne over to Schultz. Nick Schultz takes a look. He'll feed it right in. Deflected by Hall. Cut by Rene. So we're seeing a couple of big goaltenders with their flexibility and agility keep it a 1-1 game.
Well, you said it best, Kevin. Both guys 6'6", and they can both move very well. Here's a good first shot by Gagne. Great chance by Hemsky coming through to try and put it 5-hole on a big man who closes it up as he slides across on the second opportunity. So he has to go right, then come back left and reacquire that puck off the stick of Hemsky. Good job by Reno there to stolen a couple high-quality chances.
9 chances to 6 for Nashville, according to our statsman Paul E. Dangerously. The E stands for everywhere.
He is a winner. Never wrong.
42 seconds to go in this second period. As Ryan Whitney retreats to pick up the puck as the Nashville Predators make a change. 17-15 the shots. Nugent Hopkins, as for Petrie, was behind him. Checked by Kostitsyn. Petrie recovers and gets it back to Whitney. Whitney up the middle for Everly. Everly with speed across the blue line. Ryan Smith steps into a shot. That gets blocked by Kevin Klein. Kostitsyn trying to get that puck to that house shot. Stepped by Petrie. Ryan Smith is there. Justin Schultz is in the room for the Oilers. I believe a cut to his face. We'll keep an eye on that one. He blocked a shot as well. The horn goes, and the period comes to an end. And special teams for both teams come through here. Rob Falls in this second period. 1-1 the score from Rexall. 2-1 the score. Game 4. Up to you. Turn on his mic.
Thanks, Kevin. As you said, it was special teams that turned things on. And it
Here's some non-breaking news. Devon Doobnick continues to play well.
Yeah, Devon Doobnick, is the question always arises, is he going to be the guy when you have a team you think can win a Stanley Cup here in Edmonton? Will it be with Devon Doobnick between the pipes? Well, I'll tell you what, so far, he hasn't proven to anybody that he's not the guy. Economy of motion, outside of that great post save, kick save and a beauty, Gino. Yes. He is the big goalie that the less he moves, the better he looks. Doesn't move much. He's got a .918 save percentage. Gene, by the end of this game, there are going to be only 2 guys in the National Hockey League that have seen more shots against this year than Devon Doobnick. He's holding the fort.
One of the most important things, I think, for a goaltender is for everybody in front of him to believe in him. Do you think that the Oilers now feel like he's the guy?
Well, if you're Devon Doobnick, you got to shut the door this period. I know exactly what the Oilers talked about. They talked about what happened last time against Detroit. They talked about having it not happen again tonight against Nashville.
All right, we're done just in time.
Thanks, guys. Third period underway. And Pecorine looks for the one as Devon Doobnick for the rebound to keep it a 2-1 game.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Nice save there by Pecorine again. And one of the things I like about this play is that Yakupov shoots it off the fly, gets himself opened up. Nice little dish by Horkoff. And he crushes the one-timer and a good leg save save there, by Rena to get it down and just kind of squeeze it against the ice.
Fistrick with it. Pecorine looks for the play for whistle. Horkoff looks for the rebound.
Guys, Safeway's $1 million score and win is back. If any Vancouver player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, DC Bowra of Vancouver could win.
Nice save there by Pecorine again. And one of the things I like about this play is that
the pressure's on the Oilers this year to get better, make the playoffs, all the promise, and a lot of it depends on how Devon Doobnick plays.
Just kind of squeeze it against the ice.
Fistrick with it now. He'll play it off the end boards, looking for Gagne. We told Keith that he was back, then he went back in the dressing room. He is on the bench. We can confirm that as the third period gets underway. Number 19 on the bench.
You know what I liked about it? He took that puck in the face. I mean, trust me, it doesn't feel very good when that happens, but he looked back to make sure that his defense partner was going to get the puck possession before he got off the bench to go get repairs. So good heads-up play by him. Tough kid to take it, stay in the game long enough to make sure it's under control, then goes and gets some zippers.
The Oilers trying to win their first game when tied after...
Get some zippers.
The Oilers trying to win their first game when tied after 40 minutes. Nashville looking for their 6th win when knotted after 2 periods. David Legwand gains the zone.
Conference final.
Quick shot there by Bork. Looked like he'd lost it, and then he found it, and fired it towards Devon Doobnick.
Good job by Nashville to knock that one out of the air, get out of harm's way.
Smith will give it to Roman Josi. Josi trying to get it to Legwand. He was checked there by Justin Schultz. Taylor Hall gets there ahead of Brandon Yip, but Yip ends up with a puck behind the net. Yip turns to get away from Whitney, tries the wraparound, paddle down for Devon Doobnick. And the Oilers get that puck out to center. Justin Schultz. Yip bearing down on it, plays it around the board for Whitney. Quick out to Hall. Hall, nice pass to Horkoff. Horkoff moving in. Yakupov fires that blast. And Pecorine looks for it as Horkoff looks for the rebound.
Nice save there by Pecorine, Devin. And one of the things I like about this play is that Yakupov shoots it off the fly, gets himself opened up, nice little dish. One of the things I like about this play is that Yakupov shoots it down and just kind of squeeze it against the ice. There by Pecorine. One of the things I like about this play gets himself opened up, nice little dish by Horkoff. And he crushes the one-time on a good leg save by Rena to get it down and just kind of squeeze it against the ice.
Fistrick with it now. He'll play it off the end boards, looking for Gagne. Roman Josi can't get it by Yakupov. Yakupov, a slippery little move to get away from Josi, and then Josi takes him down. They battled for that puck. And it's finally just tipped down the ice by Nick Spaulding. Fistrick will go back and get it. As for Yakupov, hopped over his stick and then went by Legwand as well. Lum sends it around the boards for Ellis. Ryan Ellis through the middle. Legwand pushes into Butler. Butler moving in. He's got Smith with him. Here's Butler with a backhand. Smith trying to get a stick on it, just out of his reach. Craig Smith tied up there by Schmid. Butler in there as well. The puck comes free. Ellis at the point. Moves to the middle. He'll backhand it into the corner. Craig Smith giving a bump by Schmid, and then Smith gets the puck back again. Fisher off the bench. Turns for Ellis. Ellis down low for Smith. Good defensive play there by Yakupov. Comes back and takes the puck away and starts the rush. Nail Yakupov. Across the blue line. Yakupov couldn't get the shot away and had to have his head up or Fisher was going to take it off. They'll head to the bench. 3 minutes gone in this third period. Two teams will hook up again in Nashville on March the 25th. Ryan Smith playing in his 48th career game against the Nashville Predators, has 17 goals. Fisher with it now. Fisher, Erat, and Kostitsin. Fisher through the middle, drop pass for Erat, snaps the shot. Fisher the rebound, slid it just wide. Ryan Whitney gets stopped. Fisher's got it. Mike Fisher. Nice little move at the blue line. He will go for a skate as the Nashville Predators want to make a change. Bork will backhand it in. He's out there with Smith and Legwand. Craig Smith on the intercept. Smith against Whitney. Now to the corner. Gabriel Bork comes together with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. It comes to Smith. He's got Legwand out in front. Couldn't get it to him. Legwand with the puck now. David Legwand turns. Justin Schultz tracking him. The puck goes wide on that shot by David Legwand. Now it's chopped out. Jordan Eberle in a race against Weber, and Weber got the stick in the way. Roman Josi will give it to Gabriel Bork. Bork will dump that puck in. Devon Doobnick has got time as the Nashville Predators want to make a change. Long pass for Eberle. He gets bumped off the puck there by Jonathan Blum. Ellis plays it around the boards. Fistrick pinching in. Fistrick, good job to keep that puck in against Craig Smith and Nick Spaulding. Fistrick still has it, throws it towards the net. That goes wide, and it careened to Eberle, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Jones with it now. Ryan Jones from the corner. Jones turns, still has it. Shot deflected, and it took that stick right out of the hand of Nick Spaulding. So Spaulding without a stick. The Oilers in possession. Nugent-Hopkins, though, gets pinned against the board. Jones in there to help him out. Back to Fistrick. Down low when it got by Eberle. Down to the corner. Look at Nugent-Hopkins get to it first. He is taken hard in the boards there by Jonathan Blum. Yip in there to try and get that puck loose. It's pinned against the boards. Eberle's got it now. He's got Hall in front. Eberle goes for the net. He'll get tripped up behind as he sends the puck out in front. Play continues. Good surge here by the Edmonton change in with possession. Hall with the puck now. Taylor Hall still has it. Hall fires a shot, and that one deflected wide. Hall has it one more time. He'll play it back to the point. Ladislav Schmid gives it right back to number 4. Worked over there by Brandon Yip. Behind the net for Horkov. Horkov, Hemsky, Hall, all kinds of pressure. Here's Hemsky with the puck now. Alex Hemsky works it out in front. Alex Hemsky to Horkov. Feeds it towards the net. Puck is loose. He works it out in front. Alex Hemsky to Horkov. Feeds it towards the net. Puck is loose towards the net. Oh, what a save! He'll get it to Hall. Taylor Hall. Alex Hemsky just seals the deal. Hemsky with it. Great pressure by the Oilers. Hemsky to Petrie. Petrie spins. Petrie tipped by Alex. Oh, he didn't score. Delivers the puck to Hemsky. Hemsky, nice move around Ellis. Drop it for Horkov. Walk back to the point. Petrie fires a shot. He'll send it down the ice and head off.
Tough slaughter for Edmonton. You got to dive through those checks. Nashville so good at kind of hitting and pitching you along the boards. You have to work through their quick support. He's activating Jordan down and keep that play alive a couple of times. And eventually it's the blast by Petrie. It's blocked him down the ice, but over a minute and a half in the offensive zone.
Moving in now is Martin Erat. Erat checked by BRB. Erat still has it back up top. Here is Klein with a shot. And Devon Doobnick with bodies all over him. And the top end on Mike Fisher makes the save.
2-1 Oilers.
Is here on Sports of the Western Front.
Look, Evan, you talked about Becker visiting the fact that he's either hot or cold this year for the Nashville Predators. 43 wins last year. Here's a quote that was from one. These either hot or cold this year for the Nashville Predators. 43 wins last year. Here's a quote that was from him not too long. Hot or cold this year for the Nashville Predators. 43 wins last year. Here's a quote that was from him not too long ago. If you want to get a win against us, just take it to the shootout. I can't stop the puck in shootout. So obviously at times a fragile goaltender, but there's no question about it. When he's feeling it, he's feeling it. And he's one of the best in the National Hockey League. Pulled the last 2 starts that he's had. After giving up 6 goals on 16 shots, he's been a better goaltender in this game tonight versus Edmonton. He's made 20 saves so far. The Nashville Predators 2-5 against shootouts so far this season.
To score another goal.
Yeah.
But 76 wins over the last 2 years.
Those are reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's it.
Not sure why.
Well, there's been to the shootout 4 times so far this season. Under Petrell with the puck now. Petrell, Brown, Smith up front, the 4th line. For the Edmonton Oilers go right. Brown behind the net for Smith. Got Petrell out in front. Hartley bounces it off the boards and away to the races. Boom. Moving in with Butler. Can't get in the puck. Good play by Whitney.
Great matchup there by Petrell to get back and nullify the 2-on-1. Makes it a 2-on-2. Therefore, it can be more aggressively played. And it gets broken up.
Lou tries again, gets a punt from Everly this time. Ryan Jones at center. And offside is Jordan Everly. Gino, what do you got? And offside is Jordan Everly. Gino, what do you got?
Well, shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, courtesy of redtag.ca. Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner.
21-18, the shots on goal here. A lot more shots when these teams met March 8th. 34-24, the Nashville Predators outshot the Oilers. Smith, huge hit by Mark Fistrick right in front of the Oiler bench. Mark Fistrick came in with 52 hits. And he adds one right there.
Just a good clean step up right there. Perfect timing by Fistrick. And for Smith, you know, relatively new to the National Hockey League, doesn't know how good of a hitter Mark Fistrick is, and he just walked right into that one.
Everly behind the net. Jordan Everly lays it back to the point. It doesn't get there, though. And there is Smith. And he will chop that puck down the ice. The Nashville Predators will get a change, and Smith's going to get the cobwebs out of his head.
Yeah, good to see him jump right back. I did a little look back to say, what was that? It just ran me over.
He was 233 pounds.
Yeah, big man.
Horkov drops for Hall. Hall moving in. And that puck gets deflected off leg one, up into the seats, and it's a souvenir.
Well, here it is. Here missed the last 8 games with an elbow injury, and Mark Fisher. This is what he brings to the table. When you come across the line, you better be ready because he's there to meet you every time. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition, pivots, gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it and just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and he's right back at it. So good for him, but a real solid hit there.
Each shot doesn't get through, Weber. Plays it off the board. Schmid trying to keep it in and does. He'll get it to Horkoff. Horkoff to Hall. Hall centering pass. And it's stopped there by Fisher.
This one ran me over.
Into the seats, and it's a souvenir.
Well, here it is. Here missed the last 8 games with an elbow injury. Mark Fisher. This is what he brings to the table. When you come across the line, you better be ready because he's there to meet you every time. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition, pivots, gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area. But for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area all the time. For Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and he's right back at it. So good for him, but a real solid hit there.
Oilers fans doesn't get through. Weber plays it off the board. They're here trying to take it in and does.
They're loud.
He'll get it to Horkoff. Horkoff to Hall. Hall centering pass. And it's stopped there by Fisher. Martin Erod with it now. Erod. A good back check there by Hemsky. Gets the puck to Petrie. We're nearing the halfway point of this third period. One period. 2-1 Oilers in the second period.
Oilers is going to come Western final. 2 games to 1. For the Runners.
The blue line. A good little chip up the boards by Edmonton.
Tonight's select hand from Netcans brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action. And what we're seeing is a 1-1 game. These period. Power plays.
And moved on. Another right there, the blue line. Good little chip up the boards by Edmonton.
Select hand from Netcans brought to you. Tonight's select hand from Netcans brought to you by LASIK MD. Tonight's of all the action. The second game of a 20 view of all the action. By LASIK MD, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action.
Good little chip up the boards by Edmonton.
The second game of a 4-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers, and 13 of their final 21, including this one, will be at Rexall. And Mike Fisher, one of the guys that is hurting, and they can't afford to have him go down. It looks like his wrist is cut.
Yep. There's going to be a penalty here to Edmonton here for young Justin Schultz. He's got a little bit of a rougher night. Got puck up in the face area. Had to go get some repairs. And there tries to pull it off the glass and gets a little too much puck. Goes up right over top without touching. So therefore, delay a game penalty to him. So a tough break there for him. And Nashville goes in their third power play.
That shot from Weber with a wrist shot to Devon Doobnick made the glove save us. Hang on.
And that's where Weber's really effective. He knows when to let that cannon go and when to kind of thread that wrister right through traffic. And right there, he was looking for a redirection, knew that there was a lane to get it through, but the traffic didn't get there in time, and Doobnick's able to glove that one over the edge.
Markoff is up front with Ryan Smith. This is Sergei Kosicin. Gets it to leg one. Leg one back to Kosicin. The leg one. Moving in. Not down there by Morton. The leg one. Sit it out in front. Nobody home except Horkoff. He starts away with Smith shorthand. Ryan Smith Kostitsin has a lane as the Oilers make a change. Kostitsin gets the ball to the middle and goes to Bourne. Bourne to Weber. Weber fakes the shot, slap pad for Kostitsin, didn't make it through. Kostitsin gets it again. Sergei Kostitsin. Being watched down by Sam Gagne. David Legwand takes a look. Weber's down low. Weber's got the puck now, but Petrie over there to get the stick of the way. Bourne centers it for Smith. Smith trying to jam it home. Can't do it. A minute 5 of power play time remaining. Back to the point in front of Sergei Kostitsin. Dishes off to Weber. Weber fails on the wrist shot. Gets it back again. Kostitsin down low. Bourne's in front. Legwand gets it to Bourne. Bourne. Smith. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down. And it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving in with Leonard Petrell. Gagne short-handed. Petrell. Short-handed. He scores. Oh, what a save by Devon Doobnick. Kostitsin. He can't believe it. Down low. Bourne's in front. Legwand gets it to Bourne. Bourne. Gets it to Bourne. Bourne. Smith. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving in with Leonard Petrell. Get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving in with Leonard Petrell. Gagne short-handed. Petrell finds the puck. Sam Gagne moving in with Leonard Petrell. Gagne short-handed. Petrell. Gagne triple shot. Oh! It's standing out. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving to regulation time. 2 games to 1. The Oilers. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam Gagne moving in with Leonard Petrell. Oh, what a save by Nugent Hopkins of Devon Doobnick. Smith. Kostitsin can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out and Gagne's on it. Sam lead. And on was Ellis. And out of the penalty box is Schultz. They'll give it to Smith. They want to make a change. They'll do that. With 8:20 left to go here in the third period. The fans here at Rexall Place have come alive on this team. He's got Hollister. Give it to Justin Schultz. Schultz for Everett. Everett chops it in. Jones going after it against Clark. Agent is watching him as he gets the back to Hollister. Too far. Petrie to Schmid. Schmid back to Petrie. Petrie with some room. Petrie rides across the blue line. Throws it towards the net. That one missed. Smith. Checked there by Petrell. Bourne. Check pass to Bartley. Bartley takes the puck from Petrie as he delivers the puck deep. In. Weber. Down to Erat. Erat goes cross legs, gave it away. Ryan Smith out in front. A big shot directed and sticked away by Erat. Turned away by Hall. Gives it to Weber. Shea Weber cuts the blue line. Dishes off Kostitsin. Gives it back to Weber. A weak shot directed and sticked away by Devon Doobnick. Fisher on the far side. He'll play it back to Roman Josi. Josi can't keep it in. The Oilers able to chop it off. Here's Emily with Hall. Drop pass for Hall. Taylor Hall moving in. Wrist shot. He missed the target. Nugent Hopkins able to keep it in. Yakarina will play it himself. A bouncing puck, and Nugent Hopkins desperate to try and keep it in. It did. Weber down to Erat. Erat goes cross legs, gave it away. Ryan Smith out in front. What a save! Good reaction there by Rena to get out and get that big paddle out there, poke check, and deny Everly to have any time to make a play with that puck.
Well, congratulations to Christina Louise Serrano of Edmonton, who swiped the free club card, and on behalf of Safeway and Yoplait Yogurt, Minigo or Tubes, has won a DVD prize pack.
Jordan Eberle with an assist tonight. He is still looking for his first goal in his last 11 games. Nashville Predators here on the board.
Big goal for his team.
And against the fellow
Big paddle out there, poke check and deny Everly to have any time to make a play with that puck.
You took the penalty, but there's lots of momentum you could build off from killing them all. You guys really done a nice job getting a shot lane. What have you done differently than against San Jose?
Well, I think that's the key. He's got the shooting lanes and minimize the shots from the middle.
with 5:30 to Gagne. The tongue out mentioning he would root for Daddy. And get on the board. On is Justin Schultz. He'll dump it in. Going to chase it himself. Trying to get out and get that.
He doesn't like it.
Check and deny.
As the Oilers have felt, there's been several calls going against them in this first period. Tied up Richards, got the face-off win for the Oilers. Little give it to sends it across to the near side. Like Richards heads off. Richards gets himself to a tough spot as the puck gets worked into the center of the box. Right here.
Played by Gagne, just buys his time, waits for Petrell to get his second goal of the season. An effective penalty killer. You're seeing him start to jump up in the rush. Now there's that celebration. See the tongue out a little bit. Little Michael Jordan-esque right there with the tongue coming out.
Funny talking to him. You and I were mentioning he was Skyping with his daughter.
Yeah.
And, you know, oh, yeah, look, yeah, this is what I drew for Daddy. Okay, great. And then he calls on the cell phone. And his wife said his daughter is still holding things up to the cell phone saying, Daddy, can you see what I drew? Daddy? And he's like, yeah, okay, sure.
That's tough. Long-distance relationship, obviously, with a young family. And he's been a real trooper this year, and I'll tell you, he's worked very hard. And nice to see him get on the board. Big goal for his team.
And against the fellow Finn.
Yeah.
5:24 left to go in regulation time. Magnus Pierre. Some good speed. He gets stopped into ordering on. There's Justin Schultz. He'll dump it in. Going to chase it himself against Bartley. Takes Bartley into the boards. Magnus Pierre trying to support that puck. Alischuk is stopped up there by Gagne. Gagne knocks him down. Bartley and Klein on the blue line for the Predators. Long pass intended for Smalling off his stick. Schmid will get there first. Made around the boards, waiting for it. Taylor Hall. Hall moves it to the middle, picked off there by Bork. And Alischuk was caught deep. Ball's got it again. Now winding up Hemsky. Hemsky across the blue line. Hall heading for the net. Marine steers that aside. Borkov chucking at it, trying to keep it in. Does temporarily. Now Ellis will get it and get it out to center. Shot right back in by Jeff Petrie. 4.5 minutes to go in regulation time. The Oilers looking for their 5th win at home this season. Petrie turns. Lund picks it up. Jonathan Lund across the line. He gets stopped. Hall and Everly come together now. Everly moving in. Jordan. What a save! It's Jordan Everly. Oh! What a save by David. Was denied. It finds him out.
That big paddle out there, poke check and deny Everly to have any time to make a play with that puck.
Lots of pressure on Jonathan Quick. He doesn't like anything extra coming in on him. After that whistle, Yakupov shoots it in the empty net. Taking a survey in the landscape, and out comes Jonathan Quick to have a word. You're shooting on me after the whistle. Youngster.
Jordan Everly with an assist tonight.
Quick with a record of 7-1-3 for lifetime against Edmonton.
11 games.
The Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Desmond.
Nashville Predators. Nashville Predators have taken a timeout with 5:31 to go here in the third period.
Heads up. We're going to take another look at the goal by Leonard Petrell to give the Oilers a 2-1 lead here in this third period. Great heads up play by Gagne. Just buys his time. Waits for Petrell to get into position. He makes good on that one-timer as he drills it home. His second goal of the season. An effective penalty killer. You're seeing him start to jump up in the rush. Now there's that celebration. See the tongue out a little bit.
Come together now. Everly moving in. Jordan Everly going in. Shot denied! Oh, he made the stop. Moving in. He gets stopped. Trying to make it 3-1. And Everly come together now. Everly moving in. The line. He gets stopped. And Everly come together now. Everly moving in. Jordan Everly steps aside. It's Thomas. Everly come together now. Everly moving in. Jordan Everly steps aside.
TikTok. Now. Genesis. 607K plus post view.
home this season. Petrie looking for their 20 game. 45 right up the middle. Here comes Mike Fisher. And it's going to be a hooking call with 3:41 to go. And Nick Schultz going to the box. And the penalty killers will go for winning the Western Conference. When we come the Stanley Cup final is 3 games away.
Linda Olson, congratulations to you of Rohatton, who entered Score and Win and has won a men's Bulova chronograph watch, courtesy of Safeway and Yoplait Yogurt, Minago, or Tubes.
On the 7th goal of the season for that guy, Jordan Everly. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box with 10 goals. It is the 4th power play of the game for the Nashville Predators, and it comes with 3:45 to go in regulation time. Sean Horkoff against David Legwan. Predators control, Roman Josi. Being watched by Ryan Smith. Out in front of him, it was a pass intended for Craig Smith. He drove the net comes off the moorings. We get a whistle. Nashville with 3 power plays so far have generated just 3 shots. They are ranked 25th in the league on the road, and Barry Trotz has seen his team now in danger of losing their 3rd straight game and being swept through Western Canada.
This is the Western Conference Finals.
And they need a series lead. Intercepts that. Gives it this game. Fisher right in the
NHL takes some courage, ends up positioning. Trevor Lewis has a hook right here. Comes up right to Taylor Hall. He's in a bad spot. He knows Hall's going to one-time it, but he throws himself in front of it. Gets it right up in the collarbone, but saved the goal. And that effort was acknowledged by his entire team and coaching staff when he got to the bench.
3 goals last year in the regular season, 3 of the
collarbone. He knows Hall's going to one-time it, but he throws himself in front of it, gets it right up in the collarbone, but saved the goal. And that effort was acknowledged by his entire team and coaching staff when he got to the bench.
3 goals last year in the regular season, 3 of the Stanley.
David Legwan, or play, or to gain. Predators control. Shots. Remain on the blue line. 30 seconds into this power play. Takes a funny hot. Craig Smith
now,
sees
minus 9 degrees tomorrow. 8 degrees cooler than today. 8 degrees cooler than today. See the full forecast. Attachment. Pause. Button. Notification. Google. Now. Minus 9. Google. Pause. Button.
3.
Okay. Pause.
Mike Fisher. Dishes to Weber. Centering to Fisher. Snaps that shot. He snapped it way wide. So wide that Roman Josi's going to have to go all the way back to his own zone. Across the blue line. Good shot, and that was blocked by Ryan Whitney. 47 seconds left to go in the power play. Weber at the point. Josi, net empty. 6 attackers on 4. Petrell with an opportunity, short-handed, backhand, and that one goes wide. That would be cause for celebration. Backhand, and that one goes wide. That would be cause. There's a shot. He did not get the shot. It was away neatly. He made this. Jonathan Blum goes behind the net. Centering pass. Spaulding, Fisher, everybody. Butler banging away. Spaulding chance. Still alive. Penalty is over. Oh, what a save! Are you kidding me? What a save by Devon Doobnick in game number 4.
Saves by Devon Doobnick. They were all over. That's something you see at the end of the world when everybody converges on the goaltender and whacks away. And he denied every shot that was there.
Yep, gains the zone. 6 attackers, 6 empty. Shot blocker, game 4. Here at the Western touchdown by Gordon. Yep, runs right into Sanders. Will come home to the final. Legwan comes all the way out in front. David Legwan takes a look back towards the net for traffic. There is Devon Doobnick with Gordon right there. Let's take a look at the outstanding play, outstanding result. Brought to you by Reno's All Canada Agents. into the third period. It was a short-handed goal by Leonard Petrell. Petrell goes in the one-timer celebration. Afterwards, a big goal for him, his second of the year. And Jordan Eberle at 15:48 has given the Oilers some breathing room, but when it comes to closing out the game, the numbers are 2 games to 1 the game for the Edmonton Oilers.
Forward game 1.
Let's be honest.
Five forward overtime hit for 2. And 8:30 at game 3.
And you're right on the money, Victor. I rarely get a chance. You're right on the money. Good job. You're picking them for the rest of the year. Blythe's still kind of less than a minute to go. Less than a minute to go. The Oilers find even this season series against the Nashville Predators. Each team has a lead.
40 seconds to go. And the Edmonton Oilers, the fans, want the cup. And this series is at 2 games. One goal and 1 assist.
Brian Smith, Leonard Petrell,
13 points in the playoffs.
and Jeff Petrie on the ice right now. 9.2 seconds on the clock. Conversation about how much time to be up there. There's much of this. They've already got almost a second put back on the clock. On the face-off, big square in the center ice. The left-hand street. Opportunity now for shots for the empty net. Next shot. Devon Doobnick. 22 saves. We're kind of picking away here in the third period. This game is up for grabs. Nice to see Edmonton take control. Doobnick closed the door. 2 goals in that third period by Edmonton, getting that 3-1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead. They're only to 3-2 as Doobnick closed the door and they finish it off. That's closing out the game.
Delivers one. It's going to series at 2 games, 3 games to 1.
That's closing out the game right there. Nashville and
Edmonton Oilers to win 1 more game here before they advance 3-2 for the Stanley Cup final for the second year in a row here in Nashville.
3-2 for the Oilers. The season
Oilers 2, Nashville Predators 1.
Telex Oilers hockey on Sportsnet.
The Stanley Cup
Telex Oilers hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telex, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
Closing out a 4-game homestand against a team